Hey everyone, welcome to your main OT. My name's Amanda. I'm back again. For anybody who saw my video last week, welcome back. Anybody who is new, welcome. So if you did miss my video last week, it was 10 plus ways to use pom-poms. So I'll attach the link below so that you can find it. Today we're going to talk about 10 plus ways to use pipe cleaners. So, starting out, it's important to know that there are a lot of different textures of pipe cleaners. So this one here is kind of like the typical one that you would get in the dollar store. So a lot of kids are very familiar with this feeling. This one I found in some of my Valentine's Day craft things. It's a little bit more rough and a little more rigid than the other ones, but it's still quite malleable and bendable. And then there's this fun one I found that's very fluffy, creates a very soft feel through the fingers, and for any kiddo that likes light touch, this might be a really fun one for them. So starting out, it would be great to get a bunch of pipe cleaners together and just have the kids play a good old game of pick-up sticks. Now, pick-up sticks seems like a pretty easy game, especially with the pipe cleaners, but it really focuses on your visual perceptual skills and your depth perception. Making sure that you're grabbing the one on top, because if you grab one from down below, you're going to upset the whole pile. Another really easy one is taking the pipe cleaner and bending it in half and making your own little set of tongs. So like I said, last week we had some pom-poms. Very easy to pick it up using the pipe cleaners. Again, works on your fine motor and your grasping. It's good practice. Also made out of the pipe cleaner a sewing needle here. As you can see, I had just made, kind of looks like a dream catcher. Now you can go in whatever direction you want or whatever direction the kid wants. I just wanted to show you that you can do it in order if they're working on sequencing their alphabet. So starting at A and going to B. And it does make it a lot easier to weave through using the pipe cleaner as a needle than just trying to do it with the regular string. You can also work on executive functioning skills, making sure that they're going weaving behind instead of over, kind of like I did here. You can have them on the list say you need to put a green bead between C and D. Oh look, they put a pink bead. So there's a lot of sequencing that can be involved, a lot of visual motor integration, bilateral coordination, and executive functioning skills with this. Plus it's also quite fun. With this, you could also put it over a sensory bin and have the kid try to pull things out of the sensory bin without touching the yarn. You can use yarn, string, whatever you have nearby. So a lot of kids are learning how to tie shoes. Forgive me, I have a big foot, which means I have a big shoe. Couldn't find any little kid shoes to practice on. So on here, you can still have them practice like they would at home. So build the big X, go through the tunnel, pull, bunny ear, around the bunny ear, and through the hole and pull. And that creates a lot of resistance and really good texture feel, and it's less likely to come apart and fall apart like the round or the flat laces. If you have a kid that's not quite there, to tying yet, but they still want to have a little bit more control over their shoelaces. You can still use the pipe cleaner as shoelaces, but maybe you just take and twist it up with the finger like that. Or if you have a pencil nearby, you can twirl it up like that. And of course you can let the kid use whatever color they prefer, and it's a cute little decoration that's also going to keep their shoe on. So like most of you guys have probably done before, I remember as a kid doing this, making bracelets out of pipe cleaners. So this is another really good bilateral coordination task, visual motor integration task, being able to place a bead on the pipe cleaner. And it does provide more resistance if you've already used the pipe cleaner. So it might be more another way to kind of grade it, so it's a little more difficult, but it is possible. Okay, so again, you would just have them do whatever colors they want, or if you're working on sequencing, twist it up, put on, and voila, got an extra little bracelet. Again, you can use it as necklaces, as headbands, however you want. You can also do some braiding of the pipe cleaners, like I've done here. I think it's really pretty. It's another step up of bracelet making, and again, it works on a lot of really great skills, and it's a very functional activity, braiding is, because then they can take this and learn to braid rope, learn to braid hair, etc. So there you go. And again, you can just, once you get through braiding, make it into a bracelet. Kind of cute. You can have them put it on a key. I found out that the pipe cleaner fits great through the little hole on the top of the key. Now with this, there's tons of ideas you can do with the keys. For example, if this was the house key that the kid needs to get into their house at home, the nice thing about the pipe cleaner is you can undo it, and if they have like a little hook in their backpack, you can put it around, twist it back up so it's less likely to get lost. The kid can learn that the yellow key is the front door. If they have multiple keys that they're trying to remember what goes to what. With that, you can also play a game. So maybe you have like a little kid escape room. So you hide different objects or even pipe cleaners around the room. So you say, okay, find 6 orange pipe cleaners, and then you can get the key to go to the next room. You can also possibly have them do like an obstacle course where they have to jump over the green one, sidestep over the blue, lots of different things. If you have a bunch of different padlocks and lots of different keys, maybe they have to try to figure out which key goes to which padlock. Again, you can make it kind of like an escape room. Lots of things with keys. And again, you can use the pipe cleaner to help distinguish it. You can also make all sorts of different things. So here's a little shamrock I made and a really cute little flower. So these you can find online, lots and lots of them. So feel free to explore. Very cute, works on a lot of skills, a lot of sequencing, direction following, great hand strengthening, having to bend the pipe cleaners in different ways. Again, with practicing, you can have them make different shapes. So this is a square here. You might be able to tell that I did a little bit of paint stamping with it. So here's a little stamp I made using the pipe cleaner. For older kids, you might have them have to measure the angles, see if they can get it to exactly 90 degrees. You can also have them practice their letters. So here's an A I made. This is out of a single pipe cleaner, which was kind of an interesting task because you had to figure out where you were going to bend it in order to make it fit in one pipe cleaner. If you have a kid that's learning how to form their letters, so here's our B. So they have their long line down, their little curve, and then they have to add a little curve. And this creates a really great tactile feel. They're better able to really feel how the letters are made, as well as be able to see it. So there's A and B. For older kids, you can also have them do some grid patterns. So you can see here that I have a little grid pattern. You may not be able to see the dots, but it's 4 by 5. So then I had them make it over here on the grid. And this is good because they have to cut the pieces of pipe cleaner to fit accordingly. And cutting the pipe cleaner provides really great resistance and hand strengthening. You can see this little guy down here. This is Pipe Cleaner Man. And I've done this with some older kids and they've greatly enjoyed it. They have to try to make Pipe Cleaner Man match up to the picture. And I've done this with, like I said, some of the older kids, especially the ones that struggle with the far point copy, near point copy. Oh, see, so I have his legs going the wrong way. Another great thing you can do on the whiteboard with the pipe cleaners. So I work with a lot of kiddos on the zones of regulation. So we have the green zone, red zone, yellow, and blue. Now, you might be able to tell that my blue pipe cleaner is not blue, it's purple. It's blue. So you would have the kid come up and say, okay, how do you feel when you're in the blue zone? And they say, oh, I feel really sad. Okay, so what does sad look like to you? So maybe they draw it or they describe to you, blue, when I'm really sad, I have a big frowny face and normally I cry. So then you or the kid can draw it on. So then I'm hoping like most of you guys are in the green zone, so you'd be really happy and ready to learn and good listeners. So then you could have the kid use a Nerf gun to shoot whatever zone they're in, give examples of the zones they're in. You could also have them throw a ball, all sorts of different things. These make really great targets. Speaking of targets, another fun game I came up with was a ring toss. Now this ring toss is just made from a wooden skewer, a paper plate, and of course some pipe cleaners. So you can have them work on getting it on there. You can paint this to give it more contrast. You can grade the activity by having them further back or closer depending on their abilities. Another fun game I came up with was the classic Tic Tac Toe. So all I did here was get 4 pipe cleaners and make the pound symbol or the hashtag symbol. I cut the O's these pipe cleaners in half and made them the circles, the O's. And the X's, I had cut the pipe cleaner into quarters. Very easy to put together. You just twist. You got your X's and your O's, and you can play a little game of Tic Tac Toe. Of course, with telehealth, maybe they set up a board and you do too, or you say, okay, put it in the top right corner. So then they would have to look and say top right corner and place it there. And the last thing I had thought of was just making different sculptures. So I gave myself 10 pipe cleaners and I said, I wonder what I can make with 10 pipe cleaners. And I said, I'm going to try to make a house of some sort. It took me about a half an hour, I'm not going to lie, to design this, to make it. It was a really good executive functioning task, being able to create the spaces and the boxes in order to build it. So I made a little house with a little flag. Kind of looks like a BB-8, but I think it's cute. So really let the kids explore with these, try to have them build the biggest tower they can, maybe do an egg drop where you have to cushion the egg with all the materials you have around the house, including pipe cleaners. Secret hint, they do make a pretty good cage on the eggs. So yeah, there's 10 plus ways, a little bit closer to 15 plus ways to use pipe cleaners in your everyday. So if you have any comments, questions, feel free to comment below and I'd be happy to get back to you. Have a great day, guys.